everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to look at 5 TikTok hacks that were popular in the year of 2024. And I must admit, it was pretty hard to find popular makeup hacks because it's just not that viral of a thing as it used to be. But I still found 5 interesting ones and I'm going to try them for you today. Almost all of them are about how you can get your base to look good, and there aren't any like eyeshadow hacks or lip liner hacks or anything like that. So it seems like the clean girl, no makeup look, subtle makeup is really in right now, and people are just focusing more on their skin alongside skincare being really popular right now. Now this first hack has been around for a while and I've been resisting it because it seems gross, but biting the bullet today, I'm gonna mix my setting powder and my foundation. I need to wash this stuff in anyways, it's fine. I'm actually not really excited about most of the makeup on this list, but that just means it's making me step out of my comfort zone, and that's a good thing. Now I have a healthy amount of foundation on the back of my hand and I am going to mix my setting powder. I feel like I'm using way more setting powder than I usually would, but we've committed. We're doing this now. I'm gonna take a dual fiber brush, not a beauty blender, and mix. And try to not blow on my hand so I don't blow the powder away. It looks a bit thicker, but not much different, so I guess let's start applying. It's actually a good time to get a mirror out. That way we can both see if this hack works. It feels normal on my face as of now, but it feels thicker on my hand. I can feel it's like kind of dragging as I'm trying to pick up the product, and as I suspected, I had to use a lot of foundation and a lot of powder, but it didn't really go that far. But let's just blend it and see how far we get with this. I feel like it looks fine, I guess. It doesn't look cakey the way I expected it to look, but the coverage isn't higher. I actually feel like the coverage is a bit lower. I was expecting the powder to increase the coverage you're getting. So I don't know if you're supposed to go in with a second layer, but I don't feel like that's what the trick was, even though I guess you could. I feel like we already used a lot of product, so I'm just gonna call this a day. But I guess this worked, and I feel like my face looks less shiny than it usually does when I'm just done applying foundation, so I guess the powder is doing something. I don't know if this will maybe make the foundation last longer or something, but this is what we have. Next up is blush, and this isn't so much of a hack as it is a preference and where you like your blush being. I personally like big rosy cheeks. Naturally I have flush cheeks, so I like bringing the blush in so it touches my eye and it hits the apple of my cheek, but that's not what's trendy right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some blush on the back of my beauty blender. I have a cream blush and I just do this. Then you're supposed to take 3 fingers, put it right against your nose, and then that is where you apply your blush. Quite the line. So again, 3 fingers on this side, apply the blush. Usually if you apply blush more in and down on your face, it can make you look more youthful, where if you apply it more back and up, it makes you look more mature. And I'm guessing mature is just what's in right now. And this is a perfectly fine way to map out your blush placement if you like that look. Next, I'm quickly gonna do my concealer so we can do the contouring hack. Next, for TikTok concealer, you apply it in the inner corner of your eye, right on the outer corner of your eye, and a dot here. You don't connect it, you just apply your dots. I don't have a specific concealer hack for you, but this is kind of the placement I've been seeing, so I'm just going to go with it and quickly blend all of that in. Now, believe it or not, but baking is back in fashion, and I have seen 2 separate hacks for that. First, I've seen people fold up toilet paper, pick up the powder with the toilet paper and apply it, and apparently the toilet paper does some magic. But the one that I want to try is where you pick up a triangular little sponge, you apply the powder, and then you don't blend it, you just set it with the setting spray. I am a big fan of setting spray. I know I'd really enjoy incorporating a setting spray based magic trick in my makeup routine, so I'm hoping this works. I'm going to stamp that on right under my eye, right next to my nose. I also always see people carve out their cheeks. I never really do it. Let's see if it lifts my face somehow. I feel like this is very like uneven in its application, but I don't want to blend it too much now because that would like defeat the purpose of the hack. But if I'm gonna put a liquid on a powder, isn't it just gonna clump where it is? So where I have thick patches now, it's gonna remain thick. I hope not. I do want to set my eyelids, but I don't want to bake them, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of powder there now. And then we spray. I'm kind of scared. Okay, I need to make sure I specifically hit the powder for it to disappear. Absolutely dripping. I'm going to go stick my face in front of a fan so that this dries, and I will be right back. but I'm not optimistic. I'm seeing that yellow. One wind tunnel later and I am back, and this is a for the camera hack, not something practical to actually wear out of the house, and I'll tell you why. Here where I have applied it, I look perfectly smooth. It looks like I had like a filter on. You should be able to see it because I used a banana powder. I think you're supposed to use a translucent powder so you don't see any color, but here it created like a thick layer and the setting spray solidified that powder in place, but I can see the line, and while this is perfectly matte and looks like a filter on, everywhere where I don't have the baking set in place, it's still shiny, it still looks normal, and you can see in detail the line that I applied. And of course we have the yellow everywhere else. So while this area looks incredibly dry and I don't think I'm gonna get any oil there, it doesn't really work. So I am going to try and blend this, even though I don't have high hopes, but maybe I can get some of the excess powder off to get rid of the color, and then here it's still matte and here it's still shiny. So I guess this is salvageable, but it's definitely not something I'd recommend or do. It's working now, but it's risky. It's risky, okay? Because if you capture from the right angle, you're going to see the like shine on my cheek and the line where it goes matte. But I am glad I don't have to wash off a full face of foundation. But follow this routine if you want to finish a setting powder in a day. The next hack is meant for a cream contour, but I threw mine away recently and I'm sure not everyone has one, so we're gonna do it the all powder way. And here you're again gonna use your hand to help you with place. So you're going to take your middle finger and put it right in the corner of your eye, and you're gonna take your index finger and put it in the hollow of your cheekbone. You'll feel, if you rub around here, a little bit of a ridge. You're gonna put it right under the ridge. It should be near your ear. You're gonna have your fingers like that, make a little peace sign, and this is where you're gonna apply your contour shade, and it's going to lift your face better than just applying it under the cheek. And by doing this, you don't have to try and figure out what the angle is or anything, you just do it. So I'm gonna pick up some powder and stamp it in there. And then I don't want to go in with too much, I'm then just going to blend it out. And this comes down pretty far, so I'm going to apply the color all the way, and hopefully that's the same amount on both sides. And I'm going to blend this out, and you're going to have to tell me if you feel like my face looks more snatched this way. They do specify you have to blend in an upwards direction. And what I do like is TikTok is starting to realize that you can contour your temples. I am a fan of that. It is strange how I use the same technique on both sides, but it feels like there's a lot less here than here. It feels like this is a bigger area, but it's supposed to be tailor-made for your face. As of now, I feel like this is just contouring for a round face shape. Different face shapes have different contouring approaches, and I feel like the round shape is just what's in right now, if this is the contour that everyone's recommending. And now I'm just gonna run through the rest of the steps, because the next hack I have for you is for when we're doing lashes and liner. For this last hack, I'm going to be applying false lashes. I'm going to be putting mascara on first, and I'm also going to tight line my upper lash line because it's going to be black all above my lashes, and I don't want the skin tone to peek through underneath. And why not brighten up my lower lash line while I'm at it? So for this hack, you take your lashes, you stick them in the inner corner, but you don't stick them on the outer corner the way you usually do. You lift it instead so that it lifts your eye, and then you color in the gap with your liquid eyeliner. And step one to this is know to apply lashes. You need to be able to control where it goes, which is a little bit spooky. I haven't worn my lashes too frequently recently, so it might be a little out of practice, but we're gonna try. The other day I wore lashes to a wedding and I wanted to pull them off. The second I got in the car to go to the wedding, I was like, oh, these are uncomfortable, but I survived throughout the night. I'm proud of myself. It was like stabbing my inner corner and I just didn't have the patience to redo it, so I suffered instead. And look good, okay? The pictures turned out fine. Okay, I am going in focus mode. I'm gonna try my best. Of course, my fingers are sticky with lash glue. Okay, I stuck the front, and now I need to stick it straight out, like so, but I think it needs to be tilted up, otherwise you're just gonna see the lash. Okay, lash one not on, hold on. Lash one on. This is a lot safer than the other lash hack we had, where you had to stick the false lashes under your natural eyelashes. I still don't know how I did that, but it looked good. But a trend with these TikTok trends is that they're not meant to last. They're meant to be a good picture, and then after that you rip it off. Okay, again, the outer corner turned up, otherwise you just see the drooping lash. Can you see the gaps? Can you tell what I did there? This feels kind of silly. But they're on. I would actually recommend lining your upper lash line before putting the lashes on, because there's not like a tiny gap in there. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. But I guess you got a barrier on both sides so you can be messy. I'm first just gonna color in the gap and see what it looks like, and then I'll go see if I need to add a wing. I feel like I am gonna need to add a wing because that just looks a little strange. I did curl my lashes before putting mascara on, so an attempt was made, I promise. But I feel like there is a massive gap here and you're seeing it now. But I'm gonna extend my lash line, or my natural lash line, and then my artificial lash line. And that's the wing today. Of course the one wing came out cuter than the other, but it's on. I think the wings came out skew because the lashes are on skew, but again, they're on. And what I learned from this is if you can't stick your lashes on properly and get them right in on the outer corners, it's salvageable, but I wouldn't do this on purpose. I feel like you can lift your eye shape a lot better with a proper use of eyeshadow, but I suppose this does prevent the false lashes from making your eyes look heavy. But another way to combat that is to just, when it's stuck on, give it a little lift so it sticks up instead of down. But all in all, I think this look came out fine. I'm gonna find a nice way to put my hair so you can really see it in its full glory. You can see that the powder is holding up here because I'm sweating in other places because it's so hot today, but there's nothing here. But let's quickly go over what we did. Number one, the powder in the foundation. It did not help prevent shininess coming through later. I don't know what that did other than just waste a lot of powder, waste a lot of foundation, and make a mess of everything. So 0 out of 10 would not recommend, but didn't mess up the makeup, so I guess you could do it if it makes you feel better. It just doesn't help you. Secondly, setting it and spraying it technically worked. I think next time I would rather apply a thin layer all over my face and then spray to set it, and after that's dried I would go buff it out if I want it to last like really long, because these patches where I have it, they're not shiny. It worked, but that's because there's a boatload of powder there. I'd hope it would work. You do, however, need a translucent powder. You do need to apply it really neatly because you're going to see all your lines. So it is something I'd reserve for something more fancy if you're going to commit to the bit. Then for the blush, I think it's preference. It looks fine. It's not something you can do wrong. It doesn't make my life any easier or harder, so it's up to you. Same goes for the contour. I don't hate it. I will consider bringing my contour up a bit higher and then up my temples instead of having the two pieces be separate. So I guess this is fine, but I won't be doing the like whole piece thing every time. I'll just be applying it in those general areas. And then for the lashes, I guess it's working. I mean, I struggled a bit, but looking at it now, it looks fine. And I guess it's a good solution if your lashes tend to disappear against your eyeliner because it's black on black. I can definitely see my lashes and they do look longer, so I suppose this is a valid technique, but if someone's gonna look at you up close, they're gonna be like, yo, what's going on? So keep that in mind, especially if you like look from the side. I can see the like gap. I can like literally see the eyelashes and then the wing underneath it. If that's a risk you're willing to take, if you're willing to let people see that that's what you did for the effect from a distance to work, that's fine. And that's the beautiful thing about makeup. It's all preference. Has my life been changed? No. But I do think I look cute and I did have fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Let me know if you know of any TikTok hacks that I missed, or if there are any TikTok hacks that you've incorporated into your routine. And then I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.